All right, what's going on, guys? I decided to start um, reading a book to all of us, and it's called The Ultimate Survival Handbook. And I really feel like this handbook is very important for the future. It's important just to know in general, but I'm going to start reading a few pages out of it in hopes that this will help someone in the future or even now. So, Ultimate Survival Handbook. And this is by Andy McNab. All the skills you need to make it in the world. All right, so the first chapter is Surviving in the Wild. Preparation. The secret of great survival skills is to always be ready. Fail to plan, and you plan to fail. The three P's. The most important survival words: planning, preparation, and packing. Plan your activity carefully. Ask yourself lots of what ifs. What if you get lost? What if it gets too dark to continue? What if you or one of your friends twists an ankle? If you started your trip and things aren't going the way you planned, you should always stop, think, and weigh things up and never be afraid to turn back. Prepare. Prepare for the worst and hope for the best. One of the most crucial things to do before you set off is to let people know where you're going, and just as important, when you'll be back. Leave a plan of your trip with families or a trusted adult. If you're hiking with friends or family for several days in the wilderness, tell local services such as park rangers. Trash bags are your best friends. Whatever you put in your backpack, you will have to make sure it stays dry. The only way to guarantee that this is going to happen is to use a trash bag. Buy the best equipment you can afford. It will work better and last longer. Pack wisely. If you're off on an outdoor adventure, you should carry as little weight as possible. That means if you're already carrying a tent and sleeping bag and maybe a camping stove and cooking gear, you should add just the bare essentials to keep you warm, dry, and comfortable. And if there's any emergency, safe. First line emergency kit. Your first line emergency kit when you go into the wilderness should be a map, preferably in a waterproof case, a whistle, a compass, a headlamp. Tape a spare set of batteries to the headband, a lighter if you're allowed one, if not, a fire steel, all of which you can wear around your neck on a lanyard. Paracord is good for this, as it has so many other uses. You should also have a space blanket or emergency bivy bag. You should have a mobile phone, a water bottle, and a survival kit. You can buy ready made survival kits or you can make up your own. Cell phones. A cell phone can be a key piece of your survival kit. A phone is most useful when it has signal and battery, but both of those can fail. Carry a backup power pack or a solar powered battery charger. Keep your cell phone safe by protecting it with a brightly colored cover that's easy to find if you drop it. Use a waterproof case or Ziploc bag to ensure it stays dry. I sound like Wisdom Martin off of Fox 5 News in DC. Shout out to Wisdom Martin. I'm taking my time with this one. If you know, you know. If your cell phone has a signal, you can call for help by phone, text, social media, or via an app. Pinpoint your location with online maps or the What Three Words app. Plan a route to safety if you've lost your map and compass. Access real time information such as weather conditions or local news. If your phone has no signal, you can view maps you preloaded before the expedition. You can use the compass and flashlight functions or first aid apps. You can read downloaded books or listen to downloaded music, audiobooks, or podcasts. Oh no, what if your cell phone is broken, right? Don't throw it away, it still has many uses. The glass face or other reflective parts of the phone can be used as a signal mirror. The tiny magnet behind the speaker can be used to magnetize a needle to improvise a compass. The edge of the circuit board can be ground on a rock to create a cutting edge or an arrowhead for an improvised weapon. Camping stoves. Mo- Modern camping stoves are either gas or liquid filled and are very light and compact. An outdoor stove will advise you on the best stove for your budget. An outdoor store, will advise you on the best stove for your budget and needs. Remember, pack your fuel container in the middle of your backpack and surround it with clothing to keep it upright and protect it from damage. Make sure you can access it easily when you stop walking. If the weather is cold, the first thing you're going to want is a hot drink. Using the stoves safely. Use only the fuel recommended by the stove manufacturer and check all connections and fittings before each use. Clear the cooking area of dry vegetation and leaves in case you knock over your stove. You don't want to start a forest fire. Make sure your stove is on a level and stable surface. Keep naked flames and sparks away from the fuel, especially when refilling. Before refilling, make sure the flame is out and the stove has cooled down. Use your stove in a well ventilated space. Liquid fuel can give off poisonous fumes, and all cookers burn vital oxygen. Never use a stove inside of a tent. Never leave a burning stove unattended. If it falls over, it could start a fire. All right. So, what to take with you in the wilderness or anywhere? A first aid kit. You can buy a good first aid kit at any pharmacy or camping store, but if you make up your own, make sure it contains at least these items: rolled bandage, triangular bandage, scissors, tweezers, safety pins, antibiotic eye ointment, blister pads and waterproof adhesive bandages, small roll of zinc oxide tape, plain gauze pad, 150 mm by 900 mm, 6-inch by 35-inch. A can of spray bandage to seal small cuts and grazes. Of course, the cell phone. To protect your cell phone with a waterproof case and pack a backup power pack or a solar power charger. Clothing. Several light layers are better than one heavy layer. You can take them off or put them on to regulate your temperature. One essential piece of gear is a warm, waterproof, lightweight jacket. Socks. Good socks prevent blisters. They also keep your feet warm and dry. Sleeping bag. Your sleeping bag should have enough padding to keep you warm at night, even without a tent. It should never be allowed to get wet, so always pack it inside a waterproof cover, preferably two. Tent. Some kinds of shelter from the elements is essential for long term survival. Which tent you choose will depend on the weather conditions you predict and how much you can afford to spend. Packing a backpack. Carry only what you need. If you're in a group, you can share many communal items. Share spaces. Bottom. Pack the items you'll use less, which might include your sleeping bag, pillow, a towel, and emergency rations. In the middle, you want to add your heaviest items to the center. These will include water, food, cooking equipment, and maybe a tent. Packing them close to your back in the center of the bag gives you a good balance. Finish the center section by adding your lightest items farthest from your back. Finish by, At the top, you want to finish by adding all the essential items you most often need. These will include a flashlight, your first aid kit, a map, snacks, and also your box or bag of second line emergency gear. Be careful as too much weight at the top will throw off your balance. Exterior. Don't overdo it with items hanging from the pack's exterior. These can snag on branches or throw you off balance. Andy says, and remember, Andy wrote the book, so Andy says, use the buddy system to prevent any strains or injuries. Your buddy lifts your backpack onto your back, and you lift their backpack onto theirs. Teamwork make the dream work. Finding your bearings. If you get lost, you need to take stock and work out where you are. Stop. As soon as you realize you're lost, the important thing is to stop. Stop stands for stop, think, observe, and plan. Stop. Don't panic. Panic will make you push on deeper and deeper into the forest or jungle and get more and more lost. Think. Find somewhere nice to sit down. Take a couple of deep breaths and try to figure out where you went wrong and whether it's best to retrace your steps. Contact people by phone if you have one and there is a signal. Observe. Do you have a map? Look around for landmarks. Can you dig a snow shelter? Can you hear a river? Which could you follow downstream until you find people? Is there a big open space where you can build a signal fire or mark out an SOS? So, what they said was, can you hear a river? Which you could follow downstream until you find people. So, plan. If night is falling, sleep on it. What do you need to do first? In the morning, if you do decide to leave, mark your trail somehow. So if your plan doesn't work out, at least you can retrace your steps. If you're lost in woods and you find a track that then forks with you at the stem of the Y, you're probably going deeper into the forest. So retrace your steps. Using your watch. If you have a watch with hands, you can determine direction by pointing the hour hand directly towards the sun, or in cloudy conditions towards the area of the brightest light. Divide the angle between the hour hand and 12 by 2. And you have south or north in the southern hemisphere. Alternatively, draw a conventional watch face on the ground with the hour hand pointing at the sun and do as above. Finding direction at night. In the northern hemisphere, the North Star is the most accurate natural guide available. To find it, first search for the Big Dipper. The two stars that form the side of the saucepan farthest from the handle are the pointers. Extend the line formed by them for roughly 5 times its length, and you will see the North Star. That is the direction north. How to improvise a compass. You will need a cup of water or a puddle, a leaf, a sewing needle, or a bobby pin. Lay the leaf in the water and gently place the needle on top of the leaf. It will then start spinning before settling and staying still. The direction in which the needle is pointing will be along the north-south line. Andy says you can greatly improve needle's efficiency by stroking it with a magnet. There is a tiny magnet behind the speaker of a mobile phone. Okay, guys. So that was the first chapter, and that was Surviving the Wild. So tomorrow I will be coming back to read you some more Ultimate Survival Handbook. Chapter 2, we are going to be learning how to survive in the cold. All right, so hopefully this was helpful, right? We learned so many things, but I think that we have to get back into survival mode. So I will be coming back every day, giving you some chapters on how to survive. All right, family, stay woke. Oh, Sage Land too, June 3rd.